We are delighted to welcome the Honorable Patrick Burt, Mayor of Palo Alto, to make opening remarks. Mayor Burt.
Well, thank you, and thank you all for coming. When I saw the topic for today, I was a little confused because out here in Silicon Valley, it was a surprise to be reminded that media can still be owned. We have such a changing environment today that it's each day a new set of rules and unwritten rules and dynamics that are going on about us. This morning's newspaper was filled with Google TV News and that entirely new platform. We have a sense out here that the history of technology is more appropriately looked at in what we used to think of as a review of the week in the news. And change happens at such a pace that it's often difficult to keep up with. You are at the right place here, and by that I don't mean just that Dinkenspiel is not today the conference on sequestering of biofuels or genetic engineering, but this location at Stanford University has spawned, as you all know, first companies such as Yahoo and Google, and now we have Facebook down the street. And just this morning I was speaking with the editor of one of our local newspapers who reminded me that the next generation of innovators and definers of media is perhaps not only those who are on campus here today, but those who are down the street at the high school. And he mentioned a new, essentially audio platform for Twitter that is called Lexi. And it was the student newspaper editors who introduced him to this emerging technology that is one of the next things that we'll be seeing in the coming years. How all of that gets integrated into what you'll be discussing today is going to be quite interesting. He also reminded me, this is Jay Thorwaldsen, that maybe some of the things that we're grappling with today are less new than we think they are as issues. When Gutenberg invented the printing press, there was a great discussion that the printing press was going to be a real bane to humanity because it would result in the wide dissemination of bad ideas. And when we had to scribe books, that there was much greater care in dissemination of information. We have that same discussion today with the new media, and how do we reconcile that with the old media? We also, by an irony, is that one of the great problems that evolved in the years following as printing presses became propagated and Venice became a capital of printing was the dissemination of pornography as the new most widely printed form of publication. We don't think of it that way today. What's passed down today is a slightly different history. And this is also such a great location for discussion of media, in that we had a wise former mayor who once said that Palo Alto is one of the few cities where you can be mayor and half the people in town think they're smarter than you are, and 3/4 of them actually are. And this sort of audience and is the affirmation of that. But finally, our local editor reminded me of something that a story he had told recently, where he was participating in a village in East Africa. And a council of elders were there as they were trying to work on how to create a new library and schoolhouse for their village. And Swahili has a term called Harambee, which loosely translated is collaboration toward a common goal. And it is virtually a national mantra in Kenya. It is a way of thinking. And I realize that that's the challenge that you are attempting to tackle today. And I applaud you on this effort. It won't be easy, but perhaps this can be a Harambee conference. So welcome to Palo Alto.